Well, good morning, everyone. See my beautiful mess? I already pulled the potatoes, and we're getting ready to fertilize the soil again and plant potatoes again to be harvested in October, November. The pepper plants. I've got me some. And I'm just now pulling weeds. During the dry spell, we let everything just grow together and for the first harvest. And this guy, he just ruined the potato patch. And as you're looking at my beautiful mess, we are pulling quite a bit of weeds now to get ready to plant for second harvest. The corn's already silked. It's not much taller than me. I'm curious to see what will happen. And through the corn, we did plant some cucumbers in that. We're trying to heal the soil. Started with this patch of sunflowers. Of course, there are any less sunflowers. And with those walnut trees, we learned a lesson. We've got a direct line of where we can plant. See? And where we just need to heal the soil due to the walnut trees. The bees are bumbling through. All kinds of bees. Some of y'all know I'm deathly allergic to bees. Can't take a sting. But they don't seem to mind me, and I don't mind them. And I see them as a blessing. Look at all the bees. They're just really loading up with this corn. I was hoping for some more red ladybugs. Those Asian lady beetles, the yellow, tan, orangish ones. They'll eat all your plants. We went old school, making our own trellises. And just kind of doing walls of plants, mixing things together. So, that's what I've been about this morning. I'm going to turn the camera to me. Don't laugh. I've been weeding the garden. Alright, you ready to talk? And so, I brought up yesterday, the first video, about we're not here to save the planet or anyone in it. It's not our job. That's a hard lesson for me to learn. I think I was born with the sense of injustice is not love. And anything that you do or it's done to you that creates an injustice puts you in fear, puts you in poverty, causes addictions and stress and abuses, domestic violence, fighting, so on. It's not love. So I believe I'm coming to that realization. I'm walking down a hill about everything I do. If I can't do it in love, and I'm doing it not to shine light on an injustice, which is causing myself or others fear, poverty, abuse, then why am I here? Now, we have a local newspaper. It was just bought out by a gentleman. The newspaper's over 110 years old. Well-respected newspaper. I just found a 4-leaf clover. Oh, my goodness. This today was meant to be. Usually I find 5-leaf, but 4-leaf is unusual for me. Let's come over here and sit at the picnic table. Take a break. I've been waiting. Hot and sweaty. Anyway, it's been there forever, The Shadow. And there would be editorials from The Shadow, just kind of letting people know what's going on. It's an anonymous character and a beloved character in our community. Well, before the new newspaper man, purchased this newspaper and decided to make it thrive, he came into it with love. He decided to shine the light on the injustices that are happening throughout our small community. Now I got a rabbit running through. And that's the division, and the ugliness that they did a Facebook page called The Shadow VR for Virginia Review. And some people, they add their comments under anonymous concerned citizen fake names. I have no issue with it. Usually those people are the ones that's actually done the research, that's actually had the experiences, and they know what they're talking about. And then the Shadow sends out its investigative reporters and verifies and fact checks everything that's being said. So I think it's a good thing. So as our community of less than 16,000 city and county combined, we are the nation's second smallest city as of 3 years ago. I don't know what our standing is today. We're located in a beautiful place in Virginia in the Allegheny Mountains. We have the homestead in the Greenbrier. We're right at their foothills. It is beautiful here, but there's a lot of cleanup today. I mentioned my daughter was murdered. How do I know she was murdered? I've been a volunteer in the community since my whole life, been in and out. And I served as the treasurer of the local domestic violence shelter, women's shelter called Safe Homes. And there's certain protocols, executive board. And when we have a death in a community, there's certain protocols that have to be followed. Well, the one thing is that local law enforcement lets the executive director know that there's been a death, who the person was that passed, and how they passed. Before I could get word to my immediate family and to Cassie's brother, and that a woman that works at Safe Homes, a good Christian woman, she don't know me from Adam. She sent out a bunch of private messages, which I have screenshots, and then she went on her own Facebook page and started talking. She never mentioned my daughter's name, but she gave so much detail everybody knew who it was. And she talked about her ODing, being addicted to drugs, meth, and about the demons in her, and she made it all about herself and how she wasn't a good Christian, as she's destroying my family unknowingly. At the time, I was angry, and I'm not angry with her anymore. Thought about suing them and shutting them down. I mean, I just lost my girl, 29 years old. You tell me I wasn't angry? And I'd been in a long battle fighting for my building, trying to keep the drugs out of our schools, standing up for others and being very vocal about what was going on. And they killed my girl. So Cassie was a night counselor at the Safe Homes. She had a lot of information, so of course they had to be notified. Now, why would they be notified that she had OD'd unless it was pre-planned? That she was going to be what we call locally suicided? That they were going to get rid of her come hell or high water? I'd already known that Jason had strangled her. Next report, once I got vocal on Facebook, was she hung herself. And it's on her medical examiner's report that she hung herself. And she didn't. It's impossible. I did the FOIA. I've got everything. Body cam footage, photos, police reports, step by step exactly what happened. Had a funeral home person that does that deals with pretty horrific things go over these reports and said, no, she was strangled, and it proves it. So I'm going to fight to get the case open and get justice. But he did try to OD her. She was shot up with a lot of meth the day she died. And there was some big party. It's in the police report. So, but he couldn't do it. I was so full of anger and knowledge. When you know the truth and you have this knowledge and you can't just let dead dogs lie, what do you do? What do you do? So the next video, I'll go into a little bit more detail about how crime works, not only in our small community, but in every rural community throughout my state of Virginia, West Virginia, on down to North Carolina, and how the game's played. You need to know. So We the people. And if you don't understand how this works and how the money's divvied out, because you got to follow the money, how the pipelines run from Mexico through Canada down through the East Coast and back across the nation, and who benefits from it. And if you don't understand how individuals are set up to go down this route, and that, then you don't know what you're up against, and you don't know how to pray for it and how to shine light on it. So that's what I'm going to do. I do want to explain to you guys that, and as I do, I'll give you a little bit more and more pieces of information in the last 12 years of my life. So let's shine light on injustice. Let's do it in love. It's very important you do it in love. Don't hate any of these people. A lot of people wanted Cassie's murderer, Jason Harrison. He's got a hell of a rap sheet. He's wanted for manslaughter in Texas. Capious on him. They let him loose on that. It's all domestic violence, drugs, murder, animal abuse and stuff. But yeah, they let him go here in Allegheny County. Kept sticking him back on my daughter. So it's hard to do things in love. It's taken 5 years for me to see this. My thoughts just went everywhere. So much has happened in the past 12 years, people. So much has happened. Stay in prayer. Meditation. Stay in peace. Listen. You'll pick up red flags. You'll start to understand. Do not go into division, please. Do not go into fear. Please. Come together. Because even the ones such as Jason Harrison, let me tell you, I got phone calls from all over the country when news got out about my daughter. People wanted to kill him. And I had to hold the line. A lot of people were telling me and my husband, if it was my daughter, I'd do this and I'd do that. Really? Would you? Would you? Especially if your daughter was a mommy too, and she had babies. And as a person of faith, I know one thing in my very depths. God forgives. And I told every phone call, every person that stopped by my house, everyone that was heading to Virginia to deal with this, God forgives. Don't touch them. I want man's justice. Jason and all those involved with the murder of not only Cassie, but so many of her generation, prison, man's justice. That's what I desire. Let them learn the same lessons we learned. Let them walk in our shoes. Let them find themselves and shake off the darkness and start living into light. God forgives. As soon as they pass, they're forgiven. So maybe I'm cruel because I don't want that. I want them on this earth to know what it feels like to be a mom, to be a wife, to be a Mimi, to be a woman, to be a father, a man, a husband, and to face injustices like this. Let's shine the light on it. All right, I gotta go. Shower time, and I know it's Saturday, but my butt has an amazing day at work today, so I've already took care of my chores at home, and I'm gonna go shower and get ready to work, and I am going to have me an amazing organic breakfast. We are living in abundance. Don't y'all listen to those YouTube videos about how bad things are. They're lying to you. You've got this. Love you later.